Hello, my friends. Today we're learning Bobibastro Daf Hey. We're going to start from the top of the page, Rune Akfir Ravina. So we had in the Mishnah on Daf Daled on base a machloikis regarding someone who has a field in the middle, and his friend, let's say Reuven, in the middle, and Shimon has fields all around him, and he builds a fence. Does Reuven have to pay for this fence or not? So let's see the sugya over here. It says Runia, the name of a person, Akfi Ravina, Me'arba Rechoisov. So Ravina surrounded Runia from all sides. Runia was in the middle, and Ravina was from all sides of him, and he built a fence. Omale Avle Kamedegadri. Please share with me why I built a fence. Are you benefiting from it that no one can come into your field? Lo Yoevle, he never paid him. So Ravina told him, Avle lifikonim bezoil. Okay, I built an expensive wall. Pay me at least half of a cheap wall that's made out of bamboo. Lo yoevle, he never paid him. So Ravina told Runia, Avli agarantirusa, at least pay me the little bit that you pay the guard to protect your field when you have all your wheat in the field ready that no one should steal it. At least pay me that you're benefiting from. Lo yoevle, he never paid him. Yoim echad, one day, Avekogoda Dikli, Runia was taking off dates from the palm tree. Amalei Larise, so Ravina told his Aryeh, the one who did the work in his field, Zil shkol minei kiburo da'ahaini, go take from him eshkol, one branch of dates in front of him. Just wanted to prove a point. Ozala asuye, so the Aryeh went to take one. Roma beikola, Runia shouted at him, Ganev, what are you doing? Amalei, so Ravina told him, Golis daito de minach nicheloch. You're happy with this fence. It's benefiting you that people can't come in. Look, people might steal from you. Lo yel elo iza be'alma. Lo boine terusa. If goats will come into your field, they might take from the fruit. Don't you need to protect from the goats? So at least pay me for this fence. Omale iza be'alma lav lachuli boim. The goats are not coming into my field to eat anything. Omale veloy gavra bois de michlilo. Are you not scared that someone, okay, you're not scared from goats, but maybe someone's going to come into your field. Now they have a fence around your field. You're benefiting from this. Also, like I made Rava, this case came in front of Rava. Omalei, so Rava told Runia, Zil paise b'maidei, go pay him at least the minimum that he agreed to, the amount you'd have to pay for God to protect your dates when they're all ready. Ve'iloi, if not, the ininuloch dina Kravuna aliba de Rav Yosi, if not Paskin, like what Rav Yosi said, that he has to pay half the value of all the fences he built because he's gaining from it. And so quickly he agreed for less, go pay him that, and if not, you have to pay the full price. And Rashi says from here we could see that we Paskin like Rav Yosi. Runia, Zovan Ara Mitzvah de Ravina. Runia bought a land on the side of the neighbor of Ravina. And there is a din of bar metzra. Bar metzra means if your neighbor is selling, you have the first right on it because it's easier for you to have two properties, one next to each other. So you have the first right. So Runia bought this field. So Ravina wanted to kick Runia away, Mishum Dina de bar metzra, because he had the first right to buy this field. Omali Rav Safra, Brady Rav Yava, Ravina. So Rav Safra, the son of Rav Yava, to the Ravina. Amri Inchi, people say, Arba letzolo, Arba letzlololo. There's a few pshatim in Rashi. I'm going to go with one of them. It means that this Runya, he was a person who deals with leather. And the saying says that to make these shoes that he used to sell, he used to pay 4 zuz for the leather, another 4 zuz for the person who'd make them into sandals, and then he would sell them. So there's not much profit involved. So the guy needs to make money. And from what he does, it doesn't make much money. So here he had the opportunity to buy a field. So like the whole reason of Dina Bar Metzah is Mishum Asiso Ayosher V'Atoiv. So here, Mishum Asiso Ayosher V'Atoiv is to let him buy this field. They should have parnasa for his family, and therefore don't kick him out of the field. It says a Mishnah, Koisel Chotza Shenofal. There was a wall in between 2 shutfim in a chotza. and it fell down. If one of them wants to build it and the other one says, I don't want to build it, we could force him to build it. Until what height? Ad arba amas, up to 4 amas, because that's way that to avoid each other looking into each other's chotzer, that's high enough. Now, at the side in the Agos Tzunim, he said that the Beis Yosef learned that if Ad Arba Amos, you learn it, you read it twice, and then you read also Ad Arba Amos Becheska Shenosan Ad Shiyov Yuraya Shloi Nosan. If, let's say, Reuben wanted to build the fence, and now, so he could force Shimon to build it, and now he comes to Shimon and say, you never paid me for the wall we built up to 4 amas. So, and Shimon says, no, I paid you. So we believe Shimon, because it's a chiyuv, it's obviously they have to pay together, and we believe that he paid it. Until, if Reuben brings a raya that Shimon never paid, so obviously he could claim it from him. Midaled amoy sulemalon, if Reuben or Shimon wants to build more than 4 amas, ein mechayiv moy, so you can't force each other, because that's already extra. Somach lo yikoisel acher, but let's say Reuben wanted to build it more than 4 amas, and Shimon didn't want to, so up to 4 amas, Shimon has to pay half. More than that, they don't have to pay a nickel. Now he built it 8 amas, and now afterwards Shimon went and built in his part also 8 amas wall to make like a, now you can make a roof and close it in. Afal pishelu nosan esatikro, all of a satikro, even they never put a roof on it, but since he built a wall that height, so it shows that he's happy with that height, and galganim all of a sakoil, he has to join 50% of what he built higher than 4 amas. Becheska shelo nosan, if Reuven comes to Shimon and says, you never paid me for the extra height, and Shimon says, I paid you. No, we take on they never paid because it's extra. Actually, obviously, if Shimon brings a raya that he paid for the extra, then he's potter to pay for the extra. Says the Gemara, Omer ish lokish, someone gave his friend a loan and they fixed the amount of time to pay back the loan. For Omar loy, and the loiva tells him, praticho, b'toich money. Before the time to pay the loan, I paid you off already. Einu Neman, we don't believe him. Velevai shefer bezmanu, alevai that people would pay on time. Never mind that for sure they don't pay before the time. Abai v'Rova, they argue, the Amrit Abai, they both say together, Ovidinish to par because it does happen that person pays before the time comes, and therefore he's trusted. Why? Zimnin de Mishram Elizuza, sometimes suddenly money comes across to him. He says, I'm going to go pay off my loan before the time. They shouldn't bother me, that I should pay off this loan. So we have a machloikes, is a person, the loiva, Ne'emon, to say that he paid before the date of paying off came. Now, we learned in our Mishnah, Becheska Shenota, and we take on that he paid for the 4 amas of the wall, until the other person who's Tuvia brings a raya, they never paid. Echidomi, what's the case? That Shimon said, I paid you off when you finished the wall. Pshita, obviously he's believed. Becheska Shenosan, that he paid. It's like Reuven comes to Shimon and says, you owe me 100, and Shimon says, I paid you 100, so he's koifa koil, so he's Ne'emon. Why shouldn't he be Ne'emon? Elo lav domale praticho b'toich zmani. Must be too much. Shimon said, I paid you before you finished the wall. Alma, we could still see, we believe Shimon. Alma obedin ish depara b'toch zmani. We could see a person's trusted to say that he paid before the time came. So it's a kasha on Abaya and Rova. So the Gemara Teret, Shiny Ochel, but here it's different. The whole Shofa, each line of bricks that he built, Zimneu. It's not like they only owe the money when the wall comes to 4 amas. Every little bit of the wall that's built, he already owes the money. So therefore, it's not betoich zmano. It's like bismano, and there everyone agree that he is believed. Toshma. Becheska Sheloi Nosan, in the case where he built more than 8 amas and then he built a wall next to it, we take on they never paid actually of Raya Shenosan until he has 8 them to bring a Raya that he paid. Eichidomi, what the case? When it was time to pay Amailoi, why is he not believed? He's Koifa Koil. Why is he not believed? Elolav Domali Proticho Bitoich Zmani. It's Soma that he said I paid before its time. Alma, we see lo yavid inish to probigoy's money. We see why is he not believed? Because a person's not paid, doesn't normally pay before it's time to pay, and that's why we don't believe him. So the Gemara shiny over here is different. In a case of a loan that he knows he owes the money, so we believe him to say that he paid. We don't believe him to say sorry. So he knows that he owes the money. So to say that he paid before the time, we don't believe him. Just 1 second. Yeah, so the Gemara saying is that it's different from a loan. By a loan, a person knows he owes. But over here, since he's not sure that the Rabbanon will be mechayiv him on the extra over the 4 ames, so even when it's time comes to pay, he's not believed because he's delaying it because he thinks maybe Bezdin will never be mechayiv me. And then everyone agrees that in such a case he's not believed. And that's Pshat in the Mishnah. And it's different to the case of Rish Lakish and Abaye and Rava. Rav Papa, Rav Huna, Brady, Rav Shua, Avdika Abaye, Rav Papa, and Rav Huna, the son of Rabbi Yeshua, did like Abaye and Rava, that if someone said he paid before his time, we trust him. Mar Baravashi, Avad Rish Lakish, he did like Rish Lakish, that Aloy does not want to say he paid before his time to pay came. Be'ilchas Rish Lakish, the Gemara says, Alochat like Rish Lakish, Aloy is not believed to say that he paid early. Vafilu miatmi, if the loiva died before the time of the payment came, so the Malva could go to the Yisoyim and claim from them what he owns him, probably only from Karkois, as we know from Yisoyim, you only take Karkois. And normally when you claim from Yisoyim, you need to take B'Shavua that you never claimed already, but because the person died before the payment date came, he doesn't need to make a Shvua, because we assume that he never paid it, the loiva that passed away, because no one really pays before the time comes. Even though that we said that Boli Parami Michsi Yisoyim, someone who's coming to claim a loan from Yisoyim that their father owned, he has to make a shvua to say they never got paid. In our case, but because the person died before the time came, chazaka, we have a chazaka, lo ovid inish to parabigez money. A person doesn't pay before its time, and therefore the malved does not need to make a shvua in such a case. Thank you very much.